Welcome to my channel, Bring Peace into Your Life. This video is going to be about letting go of control and expectations, being more mindful and living in the moment. So it links in with the previous video that I did on mindfulness. So letting go of control and expectations means releasing the mental grip you have on how things should be, how people should behave, or how outcomes must turn out. So it's about actually allowing yourself to live rather than focus on what should be. It's about focusing on what is and actually living that in the moment. It doesn't mean giving up or not caring. That's not what it's about. It means shifting from a mindset of being tight and anxious and management and control to one of presence, trust, and adaptability. So allowing life to happen and allowing people to be who they are and allowing relationships to unfold the way they do without having a very tight idea of what should be. I've found in my life that this can sometimes crop up for me, and I think in relationships it can be quite difficult because you want someone to act like you want them to act, or you want them to show empathy the way you would like them to show empathy. And that can be quite difficult because actually, when you're with someone, they're an individual person just like you are, and they might not react in the way you react to something. They might not show up in the way you would show up for someone. And that's okay because you're different people. But sometimes that can be quite jarring because you don't necessarily feel that you are getting what you want from that person, or you don't feel that they are giving you what you would give to them. And what I would say is it's about thinking, well, I am who I am and I am going to be me and I'm going to be genuinely be me. And then that person will genuinely be them and we will show up for each other. And whether that's in friendship, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's your children, we are different people and we interact in different ways. And it's about looking at and trusting that that person is who they are and I am who I am, and we will interact in the way we do, rather than trying to control the situation. I think sometimes we feel that not controlling the situation is a lack of control, but it's actually not. It's a development of acceptance that that person is who they are and that is the relationship we're going to have. It's really good in looking at this that you can't, accepting that you can't control everything. You can't control everything in life. You can't control everybody else. You can't control what people say, what they do. You can only look at yourself. So it's about looking at your actions and your choices and the intention you have behind that. So why are you doing something? Why are you helping someone? Why are you acting that way in a relationship? It's about looking at what is your intention. You can't control other people's reactions, their timing. You can't control external events. You can only be who you are and show up as yourself. So letting go means recognising the boundary between what's yours and what's not. So really what you can and can't control. So I think sometimes when we feel that things aren't working or things aren't going well, we want to control things and we want to lock down and be tight and control things. But actually that's not helpful because we can't control all these things outside of us. We can't control the uncontrollables. We can only control ourselves, how we react, how we show up. We can't actually control other people or other parts of the situation. Expectations often create stress because they tie your happiness to a specific outcome. Letting go means staying open to different possibilities instead of clinging on to imagined scenarios. So it's about thinking, right, I'm going to meet up with that person and this is going to happen and this is what I want to happen. And then if something gets in the way or maybe it doesn't go as planned, you get anxious, but you also get very disappointed and feel let down. And actually, Scenarios will happen the way they'll happen. It's about looking at how you react to that. And yes, in situations you can be disappointed if something didn't maybe go the way you wanted, or it wasn't as good as you expected, and that's okay to be disappointed. That's fine. It's a feeling that's very valid. But to try and control all of that when you don't have control over it just produces anxiety and stress and makes you feel unbalanced. Looking at letting go of control and expectations allows life to unfold more naturally. So instead of pushing, forcing, or overthinking, you allow events to develop at their own pace. It's an internal shift from I need this to happen to I will do my part and allow the rest to unfold. I've found that the older I get, the better I get at this, but I have found that in the past, I have wanted a situation to go a certain way, or I've wanted something to happen in a certain way, and I've found it very difficult if it didn't. And that is something that I've worked on a lot. I'm still not perfect at it by any means, but I've definitely worked on it because I've realised that it can actually put barriers in place. Sorry, it can actually put barriers in place, and it can actually stop me having fun or enjoying situations because I've felt that I wanted control over it, but it was control over stuff that I could not control and didn't have control over. And that can be quite conflicting, it can be quite difficult. But I've really been trying to work on that specifically recently as well, about letting go of control and not having to have everything the way I want it. Because I have a husband, I have kids, I have a family, I have my mum. Not all the scenarios in my life are going to go the way I want it, but it doesn't mean that the way it goes is not going to be great and fun and amazing. It's about the way I look at it and the way I see it. If I can give up some control and give up that expectation, it means that I'm open to what happens, and that can actually bring really good things. But letting go requires trust. It requires to trust yourself in the process and your ability to handle whatever comes, and in the fact that not everything needs to be solved or controlled right away. It's about looking at plans. If you have plans, I quite like to have a plan, but then if the plan changes, I'm not too bad with that. A plan can change and it can adapt and it can maneuver and it can be different. But I like a wee bit of a plan at first to kind of like, there is that wee element of control there. But it's about looking at if the plan doesn't go to plan, that's actually okay. And sometimes the best days you have are not planned. You're just going to go out and see what happens, or just go for a walk or go for a drive. And sometimes the best things happen when you don't have a plan, because actually you're just open to whatever the universe throws at you and whatever comes your way. Expectations often lead to disappointment, frustration, and quite often sometimes resentment, especially within relationships. So letting go creates emotional space, it creates a lightness and a freedom just to experience what's happening and allow things to unfold in front of you. And it means that you can experience the way it is rather than how you think it should be. And that's that element of control and letting go. When you stop trying to manage the future, you can return your attention to what's happening right now, which is the only place that we really have control. And that links back to my previous video on mindfulness. When you're in the moment and in that place, you can only control the now. You can't control the past and what you've said or done in the past. You can't control the future and what's going to happen. And it's about making sure that where you are is where you have the power, and where you have the power to change things, maneuver things, do things differently if stuff comes up that is difficult or that you don't want to be happening. So it's about being more present and accepting that what's happening just now is the only true part of your life that's happening now, and it's the only part that you can really control and have power over. And that very much links back to mindfulness. So letting go of control and expectations is really trying to be more mindful and trying to live more in the moment. If this has helped with any feelings that you've had of finding it very difficult to need control, and this has helped you think about kind of letting go of control and expectations and trying to be in the moment. I know it can be hard if you felt that you want control for certain reasons. Maybe there's triggers from your past and you felt that you were very out of control or you weren't able to control stuff. So it was a lot better for you to be in control so that you don't get hurt, so that you don't get into a situation that's a difficult situation. These can be things that you maybe need to look at in therapy, look at with a therapist and open up and really work on why was there the need for control, what was that about. And once you do look at that, you can look at letting go of that and actually trusting yourself more and trusting in your ability to manage things and therefore let go of a bit more of that control. So if there's stuff that you've done that you found really helpful in this journey and found that helps you, please put it in the comments and we can put some messages in the comments about what's helped ourselves and what's helped us, and that may help others. So you never know that when you make a comment you might actually really help somebody. So if you have anything that you would like to share, then please do so. And I hope things go well for you. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.